The Martin Baltimore was an American-designed aircraft that became a crucial asset for the British Royal Air Force and other Allied air forces during World War II. Despite its American origins, the Baltimore never saw service with the United States military. Instead, it was supplied under the Lend-Lease Act, primarily to British and Commonwealth air forces, playing significant roles in various theatres, especially in the Mediterranean and North Africa. The Baltimore was introduced into service in 1941, crafted to meet the urgent needs of the RAF during a critical period of the war. It was an evolution of the earlier Martin Maryland, with modifications including more powerful Wright R 2600 twin Cyclone engines, self-sealing fuel tanks, and light armor around the crew positions, and a larger airframe that could carry a greater bomb load. The design featured a crew of 4, a top speed of about 305 miles per hour, and a range of approximately 1,960 miles. Its armament included 4 wing-mounted M1919 Browning machine guns, an array of either 2 or 4 303 machine guns in the dorsal turret, 303 machine guns in ventral positions. It also had provisions for up to 4 fixed rear-firing 303 machine guns, along with the capability to carry up to 2,000 pounds of bombs. Despite initial delays due to an overburdened design team, the first prototype flew on June 14, 1941. Early production models were simplified to expedite delivery, omitting turrets. The Mark I and Mark II variants, featuring Wright GR 2600 engines, were assigned to training and combat squadrons, respectively. Subsequent orders included the Mark III variant, equipped with Boulton-Paul dorsal turrets and Browning machine guns. A total of 575 additional aircraft were commissioned under a second contract through the Lend-Lease arrangement, further solidifying the Baltimore's role in the Allied air forces. These included the Mark IIIA and Mark IV, the latter distinguished by an electrically rotating Martin turret. Production of the Baltimore continued with adaptations and enhancements, culminating in the A-30A and British Mark V versions, which featured more powerful engines and heavier armament. The final variants, intended for coastal patrol, remained as prototypes. The Baltimore ceased production in May 1944, after 1,575 units had been built. In 1942, the Baltimore proved its worth in the North African campaign, executing ground attack missions, anti-shipping strikes, and general reconnaissance duties. Thrown quickly into action to stop Rommel's advance, at first the Baltimore suffered massive losses when it was used as a low-level attack aircraft, especially in the chaos of the Desert War, where most missions went unescorted. The failure to soften up the flak emplacements guarding targets by fighter craft had resulted in heavy casualties on ferry battles in 1940 and on Bristol Blenheims in 1941, now the Baltimores in 1942. But when its operations switched to medium altitude with fighter escorts, the Baltimore had a very low loss rate. A group of 18 Baltimores would carpet bomb the target, while their bomb-carrying escorts would swoop down and perform precision attacks, while the anti-aircraft gunners were still in their dugouts and not manning their guns. Its robust construction allowed it to operate from rough fields and withstand considerable battle damage, essential for the challenging conditions of North Africa. By 1943, as Allied operations expanded, the Baltimore was heavily involved in actions across the Mediterranean, including the preparation for and support of the Allied invasions of Sicily and Italy. It performed a mix of tactical bombing and reconnaissance missions, aiding the Allied push against Axis forces by targeting logistical lines and gathering crucial intelligence. In 1944, the Baltimore continued to support the Italian campaign and participated in Operation Dragoon, the Allied invasion of southern France. Despite being increasingly overshadowed by newer aircraft, the Baltimore remained valuable for specific missions where its performance characteristics matched the operational needs, such as coastal patrols and artillery spotting. As the war drew to a close in 1945, the Baltimore was phased out from front-line service. It was relegated to secondary roles such as training, transport, or target towing. Unlike other bombers, due to its lack of interior space, the Baltimore was not converted to civilian use, and most Baltimores were scrapped soon after the war, although one RAF squadron continued to use the type in Kenya, where the aircraft were used in aerial mapping and locust control until 1948. But by 1949, the Baltimore had ended its service life entirely. The Baltimore's legacy, while less celebrated than that of more famous wartime aircraft, highlights its crucial role during key World War II campaigns, reflecting the adaptability and reliability demanded by the conditions of the time. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this presentation, please like the video and leave a comment. If you would like to see more like this, please subscribe and click the notification bell.